Okay, tubaniriza akundejje TV mwebale kubanga mulaba olunaku olwo lwakuna lero tubajjukira Janani Lumu so gwe ali eyo Janani Lumu muyingize mu mutima gwo mukoppeko ebirungi bye tumujjukirako oba oli awulamu benga butambula bulungi program Obulamu Zaabu program era olunaku olwokuna ssaawa 2 n'ekitundu ez'ekiro ate oba ogimiisinze enkeera eddibwamu ku Friday ku ssaawa 5 n'ekitundu ez'emisana. Olunaku lwasembayo last week twayogera ku adolescent health leero tukomyewo ne musawo Monica Namuli lyeryo erinnya mukama wange ne musawo Monica Namuli tubenga ate twongera okutematema ensonga eno wetwakoma twalabanga tulina bye tuleseyo oba oli awo bingi bye twagala okuba nga tumaliriza olunaku olwaleero ogamba otya musawo? Nyongera obbajjukiza musawo oluganda lwe oluganda lwe weeruli naye bibuzaabuza obulamu bugamba ki? Bantu balaba sho ne basiima ne bagamba ebintu ebimu badde tebabimanyi. Babuuzeeko.
Good afternoon, everyone. Uganda has gone out of my head again. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm happy to be back talking about adolescent health. And I think today we are going to talk about one of the issues. The twayogerako kikyebayitamu.
Yes.
And I think the issue is addiction.
Yes. Yaliyo tukwate ku addiction ono wadde wangambye nabo alimu bingi. Tusentalinge ku kimu kye tunaalonda mweno sho.
Naye nga tubenge ebizibu biba bingi ate byonna biri connected kyekizibu kati olaba ogamba nti addiction omu tulinawo addiction ale tetulina kale mu adolescents mu baana tulinawo ez'eddagala drug addiction zino ze bawulira nti abayimbi bali addicted ku malagala.
Bayimbi bokka
betubulira anti abantu bebasinga obulira bikwatagana ku bayimbi. But of course we know that more people are addicted. N'abasawo bali addicted mu kwano. It's not just a problem of babaana bati buli muntu asobola okugenda addicted.
Yes.
So tulinayo addiction which is drug addiction and drug and substance abuse or addiction. Kati mwekyo tulimu ne cigarettes ziringa cigarette smoking and addiction to it just a substance.
Mwemuli na bino byempulira shisha.
Mulimu eyo byonna anything you're smoking is basically part of it.
Okay. Then
tulina phone addiction which is basically mu baana mostly social media and of course internet ebibeera ku internet ebimu ku byo pornography.
Kati musawo mbadde nsaba tusitikinge ku phone wano. Abalabi yatusitikinge ku phone wano kwa abavubuka abasinga kizibu nnyo okusanga omuvubuka nga talina ssimu. Kizibu nnyo so tugiraawo naye sooka onziremuka addiction ogambye kyeki?
Addiction there is a definition for addiction.
Yes.
Naye
olulimi olwangu.
Addiction okutuuka mu addiction tulina stages. Addiction is when you tosobola kufunctioninga bulungi ng'ekintu ekyo tokikoze oba weesanga ekintu okikola ate nga you need more and more of it. Katugambe now let me give an example nti ddagala ojatandika nti sigala leero ofuuyeko half then over time half tekyakumala. You build a tolerance. Kati notandika okubanga oyagala more and more and more.
Yayanya ogumu
okugamba nti ina addiction you need it to do something. What ogikoze tokafunye tosobola kukola ki? Kati eri mu stages to jumping anti leero oli wano then tomorrow you are there. No, kigenda mpola mpola otandika mu akukwa abusinga whereby okikozesa bubi.
So basically addiction kuba kwa abusing
basically continue. It's like a ringa process. Addiction eri waggulu kati oba otuusenga olina obulwadde naye kati kyetwogerako twagala nti abaana baleme okutuuka ku addiction. Twagala kustopinga abuse kwekoza ekintu kyotalina kukozesa oba okukikozesa bubi. Katugambe nti omwenge omwana talina gunywa because they are below 18. Naye we know children are drinking alcohol. That is abuse of a substance. Okitegedde. Then oba abusing the substance nga wotandisa ogikozesa nga tolina gikozesa, you can then get used to it bwemanyiiza kwekyo ekintu ekyo kita tolerance. Obudde ku ekyo kati ojja kubanga buli kaseera ate oyagala kwongerezaako otandikidde si weeyagala okukola ki okukoma, but it becomes a habit, it becomes your thing. Every day njagala kino, every day njagala, ojja kutuuka nga you need it every day. So addiction is the end or maybe like the worst, but waliwo wokola ki
wotandikira.
So we want to stop wotandikira
tuleme kutuuka eri
on the continuum. We see how we can take you back to
normal,
or at least to somewhere which is more of a normal use. Kati let's talk about phones. Kati amasimu gapozinga risks nyingi. Amasimu gayamba like anything. They have a purpose, they also have a disadvantage. Now the challenge comes with controlling that phone use. Most parents think that children are ready for phones, but they are not. Not all children are 100% ready for everything out there on the internet.
When can I tell that my child is ready for a phone?
You have to have this talk with your child. Or you see, you as a parent, is there a need for communication with the child? So you have to see you have to first start from looking, what do we need in this house? Is there a communication gap? How can it be bridged? If you can get a landline, that is still what? A phone. You're removing very many risks from the landline. No one our banze katugambe akugambye mami lero nakoze bulungi badde njagala umpe reward nga reward ya simu tomala gagamba gwe gende eri. You talk, you sit down with your child, have conversation, discussion, even a dialogue. Give me the reasons you want a phone. You get it? And then I will consider it. When you have considered it, most of the time it's good, omuzadde omwana wa posing it, you go and consult someone and say, I know there is dangers of having a phone, and there's good parts. How can I mitigate? How can I reduce? How can I prevent the dangers from reaching my child? I have thought about your issue about wanting a phone. Yes, I will buy for you this phone and this and this. However, I would like us to have an agreement of how we are using this phone. There has to be something like that. Because if you just get iPhone 10, no jimua because you can afford it, and your child is doing whatever they are doing on their phone, how do you know what they are doing on their phone? And how have you controlled what they are doing on said phone? So it's good for a parent to have the knowledge. This information is mostly for parents actually in this regard for phone addiction, because parents don't actually know that the phone is the beginning of problems for very many children. That is why they make plans to go meet secret people. That is why they make plans with not so right friends. That is why some of them even buy their drugs on their phone. There is so much that the phone can give access to the child to. You don't know. They are the ones who are getting bullied on the phone. You are the one who bought the phone for them, and then someone is busy bullying them on social media on that same phone. Then the problems of bullying come back to you. It's the same phone that the child is going to watch YouTube and pornography on. It's the same phone. I have seen these children who watch actively, like daily, about 10 clips, 50 clips. Some of them have nothing to do better, so they will just be watching these free clips. They are there all over the internet, free of charge, but they are there to draw your child in. It's the same phone your child is going to spend 7 hours on WhatsApping all sorts of strangers. That's why they're going to meet scammers, that's why they're going to meet child traffickers, that's why they're going to meet sex offenders. So the internet is not a place for a child.
But you
can control.
How?
There is parental guidance, there is open transparency.
Open transparency kyakola Jerry teyasigala mu bigambo musawo.
No, Jerry. omanyi omwana wo
baana b'ennaku zo tebakyayogera
kati olaba where you failed, now this man might have caught you that you've already done the mistakes, you get it? Where you've already done the mistakes. That's why I said we are here as doctors of children to ensure that these children tell us some of these things. Sometimes the parent may not be able to get all the information from the child because maybe you're a very strict parent.
Yes.
So the child fears the repercussions of their own actions. But it doesn't mean that we shouldn't still talk to them. So you take your child to a child, an adolescent health specialist, or you take your child to a pediatrician, or you take your child to an adolescent health clinic, any place. And you don't even direct the person. You just tell the person, I think my child spends an inordinate amount of time on the phone. I am very uncomfortable with. I don't know what she does on this phone. I would like you to please explore that. So, omugamba something that is concerning to you as a parent. Then us, what we do, we ask the questions we need to ask, and then we tell you what we need to tell you, or you get, because like I told you, these things are confidential.
Kyogamba ebintu omwana wange byangamba tobingamba.
Because we are supposed to provide the service. It is like this.
Kati oba onnyambye.
Mbakuyambye. How? Kubanga
nzize onyambeko ofuna information mwana wange manye byaliko ate woogikuuma oba onyambye musawo
kati katugambe nti omwana azze omwana n'atula nange bwamulese ekisooka lina omugamba. And it is kind of like a rule or like one of the principles of adolescent health service. Everything we discuss with adolescents is confidential between me and that adolescent. The only exception is when there is something that is a red flag. Katugambe nti omwana angambye, I want to kill myself. I have been planning to kill myself. I am not going to keep quiet on that and not tell you, the mother. Or let us say the child has told me, I have been, having sexual interaction with 3 different men or 3 different girls.
So you can't tell me that?
I will tell you, but I will know how to
tell me.
To tell you. And trust me, by the time I tell you, I will have told the child, I will tell your mother. And I will also have told the child that I am going to handle your fears about telling your mother the truth. Because it is because we are acting in the best interests of our patient. That is what yes, it is the child. And so, being in the best interest of the child. And for both of you, because and also remember adolescent telling a mwana myaka 5.
Yes.
They have a separate personality.
So nebino byogamba omuzadde obeera open eri patient wo n'omugaba bino ngenda bigamba.
Yes. I don't know if they want to call out because most of the time the visit is like this. You come with your mother introduces her issues in your presence as a child, and then we ask you who is more comfortable to start. It's an interview of sorts. So we start with whoever is more comfortable. Most of the time we start with the child because parents usually have very, very little to say. Then we listen to the child's point, then we listen to the parent's point, sometimes separately. You get. Then after that, we bring both of them together, and whatever we have agreed upon separately, we talk about it in together with each other, so that we are in the same place.
Nakati, musawo experience gy'olina mu kino ky'olimu ky'okola olowooza gyandibadde nga myaka emeka omwana okuba n'essimu okumulekera ebbeetu n'omulekera essimu ye kubanga okuba n'essimu kiyinza oba kizibumu ennaku zino lwansonga olumu n'amasomero agamu gasomeseza online biki naye okumuwa ebbeetu nti kati eno essimu yiye nene enamba ye
nze mba ndowooza nti omwana this is not like this is my own opinion.
Yes, of course.
But at the same time, it really depends. Like I told you, simu ojiwayo nga there is need for it. So I think the first thing is a parent should decide: is there a need for a phone, a personal phone and phone number? That is the first thing. Like I told you, you have to sit down and really have this discussion. You have to see if it is appropriate. Sometimes you may have to even consult with your child, not alone even, with your child, so that your child gets a different perspective. If you found that there is a need, then you and the child, you sit down and say, these are the dangers we have discussed in our quest to get this your phone. These are the dangers. How are we going to come up with
a solution?
With solutions. Solutions is there.
Now we know
Okay, how are we going to avoid you surfing sites you're not supposed to surf? How are we going to monitor, the kind of conversations you have? Those kinds of things have to be discussed. And then the parent comes up with their own solutions. The child comes up with their own solutions. Then you both sit down and you come to a compromise that works for both of you. The child may say, I would like you to trust me to know how to choose the right people to converse with on the phone and the people to converse. But for you, may be like, I may trust you, but I still have to have my evidence as a doubting Thomas. As your parent, I will not rest easy until this trust has been proven to me that it really, I can trust you. Once you get there, you don't have to force it. You just say them, I trust you, but I also know that it's difficult sometimes.
Yes.
So you have to come up with compromises so that you can be like, okay, so maybe since I want you to trust me and you want me to prove my trust, maybe let us just have spot checks of my phone. No prior information, just ask me for my phone on any day. I will know how to. You know how to check. Or you can tell the mother, or the child can be like, or the mother, when you can tell the child, I'm going to link my phone to yours. I will check your phone periodically.
Abaana, abena kuzino.
Yes. This is what people say. I have talked to children, adolescents. Of course, they have their own attitude. But when you talk about real issues and you're open with your child, it is so important and it is so paramount that your child has to know if anything on earth happens to me. And the only way your child knows that is when you've proven time and again that you will stand with them. And if you don't do that, then the problems will come up. But if you do it from the beginning, your problems are less. But I'll ask you, do parents teach their children sex education? They are supposed to.
Bagamba biswaza. Okay. Addiction yewona. Necho gena chinzira mkansonga njukize bano tuliko Obulamu Zaabu, tuli ku Ndejje University TV, tuli ne musawo Namuli, tukyali mu nsonga za adolescent health naye basically tuli ku addiction gye tuli okutematema okulaba nga oba oli awo tugiwonya abaana baffe. Agambye nti wotuukira ku addiction buba bulwadde, so tugezeeko okuki avoidinga okutuuka eri mu bulwadde. Tuli ku GMS ddwaliro liri wano ku luguudo olugenda Nankulabye Balintuma Road weliri ddwaliro ddene. Saavisi zonna zonna bazirina. Waliwo etaliwo maama? Saavisi zonna zonna bazirina. Ojja kugyonyonyole abasawo ba buli kika babalina. So kyonna kyowuliramu ng'obulamu tebuteredde jangu buziwana. Ddwaliro ddene teriiko nti ate otuuka wano simanyi ogirewo otya liri ku kkubo liba lirabika bulungi. Musawo Monica, addiction ewona? Wemba ntuuseeyo eri nti natandikira kusigala munwe gumu ebiri kati nkuba paketi olunaku, sobola okukka nemba nga si.
It is possible. But what about, okay, there is different thoughts about addiction and cure. Some people will say it can be controlled. Some people will say it can be cured. It really depends on what you define as cure. But omuntu asobola okuleka kyali addicted to, they can stop being using. Yes, they can stop.
Nakivaako?
Yes, they can. We have people who have stopped. They can stop, yes.
Nakita?
Yes, nakita. But the problem is this. once you have exposed yourself to something,
yes,
to the level of getting addicted, the chances to reach damu is higher than obutachiddamu. So you can stop. Katugambe nti a child is addicted to porn, and you've worked through it with that child. It's possible that the child can stop to watch porn. Now, as part of treatment of addiction, is to first of all find out what made this child get into watching porn. And if those issues are not changed, if the environment has not been changed, if what made this child really go into addiction was not changed, the likelihood that this child is going to go back to watching porn is very high. That's what I'm saying. It is good not to let the child reach there. If they have reached there,
anti tetutegeera era ekibuzo kyange ekibadde kiddako kibadde nti waliwo signs enyinza olabirako nti something might be wrong with my child.
Ekisooka, every child who is in the adolescent age, there's always something wrong with them.
Are you sure?
Almost always. I'm saying almost always. They always have something going on. It's not like it's something like a problem or a disease, but there's always something wrong. Like there is no person who is just seated there and there is nothing that is, problematic in their life. But remember, this is a young child who is having problems going on in their life. So they always have something. But some clues that can give you, like some things that can give you performance of your child.
At school?
Performance at school. So it's good to take your child to a school whereby the teachers are very vigilant. They are looking, friends are not so good. You have to be more proactive. You ask, because most parents just know how to go on video, look at results, never come out. But there is more to school behavior or school performance than the results. Is always sluggish, he's always late, he's always misbehaving in class, he's always with the group which is a bit, misleading, peer group is misleading. So those are some of the cues that can give you. Another one, you can also always have talks with your child. The talks may not be asking them, do you have a problem? It's asking about what friends do they have. You bring all your friends here. Let me see all your friends. Some of the things you can help to know if your child has problems, knowing who your child associates with the most.
Yes.
Knowing those people to the depth of knowing where even their parents are. Sometimes even seemingly okay children, even if they are in a stable family, not broken families, sometimes
don't be sure that they are fine.
You cannot be sure. Okay. You cannot be sure. And some of the children who use drugs, I'm telling you, the parents did not have any idea until a big event happened, and now we are in addiction. By the time they know, by then now they're in addiction. The children you meet and they tell you, yeah, I've started drinking alcohol, but I haven't yet taken alcohol. And you can tell they are lying, but you don't push the issue. Just tell them, okay, let us see you again in a month and we see.
Okay.
And then
So kitegeeza okumutegeera eringa therapy.
Therapy, like outlet. Katugambe nti omwana ajja gyendi netwogera ebyaffe ebyomukyama
kantawanyiza nnyako
katawanya bazadde bangi
kantawanyiza ko omwana amulese kumpa information ate okuuma information
naye nati kitegeere bwoti nti if we remove that confidentiality
ajja kutya okwogera
nange tagenda
kituufu
nagwe watabikugamba ng'omuzadde nange tagenda bikola ki bigamba, and then we are not going to achieve anything.
Yeah, I know.
So we need to achieve something and we have to compromise.
So basically kyogezaako kugamba nti olumu decisions taking ng'abazadde tuba twetaaga okusooka okwogera n'abaana baffe nga tetunnaziteekinga because somehow ziba affecting.
Kubanga kati abazadde abamu balina ssente balowooza nti okugulira omwana wo buli kimu is good, but sometimes your child wants to say no. That's very interesting. Some children actually want their parents to say no, I'm not going to give you.
Omwana aba ayagala olumu.
There are some children who want their parents to be involved in their lives, and the parents are not. Some parents buy off their children with gifts, but the child wants you to be there. Sometimes the child can ask you, they keep asking for every release they want a new phone. What they really want is your attention to be shined on them.
Okay.
They don't actually want the phone.
So oyina kogambye nti olumba n'abazadde abagagga omwana aba awulireko kanno ekyo sijja kikuwa.
Kituufu. Sometimes tulina abazadde who give children anything. Whatever there is parenting styles, which is just you just agree with everything.
Yes.
It's like mwana
ya kusalirawo kyayagala kyomuwa.
Those are also problems. Waliwo where mzadde buli kintu ye yakikola ki
yakisalawo.
Waliwo abazadde batafaayo, like they neglect. Then there are those ones who discuss, which is the balance byekugambye. So oyinza okuba nga gweoyagala kubeera on one extreme, but as a parent you have to work hard to come to a balance. So if you give your children permission all the time, children sometimes just want to be able to tell them, I don't think that is for your age. I don't think, like omwana ng'omuntu naye ayagala, sometimes that can show that is love. Yenga buli mwana kyakola, and make your own decisions, weko ebyoyagala
bimutama.
So nga bwe sometimes want to tell you naye ekyo kyokoze nedda. Sometimes also you as a person you want someone to tell you naye nedda
ekyo kikyamu.
But if they don't tell you tebanfuddeeko. So it's the same way that sometimes I am telling a child sometimes wants to be told no. Okay. Tumalirize ebigambo bye bisemba doctor. Ebigambo byange bisemba. Abazadde abali eyo letwogedde ku phones. Phones are big. There is bigger issues in phones. Maybe phone addiction to internet, maybe social media, it may be pornography, it may be hookup lines, it may be all sorts of things. It's a portal. It is a direct link between here and anywhere in this world. It is good for us to give our children what they want, sometimes in moderation and with guidance. The whole of this time. Sometimes you will not know what your child is doing, and sometimes you will not know how to handle the situation. We are here as health professionals to enlighten you that we exist for this purpose, not just to give children anti-malarials, but also deal with bigger issues that are coming up, that are real, that have caused havoc in very many families, and that are still creating a lot of havoc. So please go to an adolescent health clinic, specialist, pediatrician, the mujja kunsanga Gombe, medical services, Wendi, mama muze, tujja kunyumya, but abaana abo wadde nga talina kizibu, tolowooza nti ali steady. Aba alina ebintu bye bimukwatako, ebiseera ebimu omusawo yasobola okubikola ki okubimaliriza okubijjayo okubireeta waggulu n'omwana kennyini ayinza okuba nga tamanyi nti kiki naye omusawo bw'atula n'omusawo ng'amanyi ebikwatagana ku baana ba adolescent ajja kuba ng'akola ki ng'abikutegeeza ekintu nga tekirinafuuka kizibu. Weebalire ddala otuwuliriza. Okay. Dr. Monica gwe tubadde naye nga tunyumya tubuulira ku nsonga za adolescent health. Kyensiza okwata kiri nti omwana wo wadde ali okay nga omutwala omukebeza ebintu ebimu check-up iki mutwale mu adolescent health centers zino, kubanga wadde omulaba ali okay ayinza okuba tali okay ayina oba oli awo ekimutuddemu kyagamba singa nfuna ampuliriza. N'akalala akanyumidde nti olumu omwana aba ayagala omugambeko nno. Abasawo kale Obulamu Zaabu program ebeera buli Lwakuna ssaawa 2 n'ekitundu ez'ekiro, then neddibwamu enkeera oba ogimisize ku lunaku Olwokutaano ku ssaawa 5 n'ekitundu ez'okumakya. Samike nze abeerawo okugikutuusaako, nze n'abalala bonna abadde ku kamera naki sign out.